was biting my tongue on my political opinion because I thought it would be better for my children. And now you look up and my kids are going to a school that teaches black kids a complicated Kwanzaa. I prefer my kids knew Hanukkah than Kwanzaa. At least it will come with some financial engineering.
Does everyone remember this interview Tucker Carlson had with Kanye West?
You know, I was talking to Ice Cube today, and we got really beat up in 2020 for saying we need to approach things a different way and not just be trauma drunk. Right. Which is a term that, God just hit me with in the past couple of days. We are no longer trauma drunk. We're no longer trauma drunk, and we're no longer trauma bonding, and we're no longer woke in the sense of what woke is, because woke is just complaining about racism, but not doing anything about it. So what we're gonna do about it is say, hey, you know what? Y'all not gonna send nobody at me based on my opinion. You asked the question before. It drove me crazy to not be able to say that I like Trump.
Where he spouted this, and
I have visions that God gives me just over and over on community building and how to build these free energy, fully kinetic energy communities where we impress, we put the least impression on the earth. We're not building the new New York skyline fight, that we are humble in the way that we present ourselves. We've got to rethink who we are as a species.
Also this, West has made it a point continuously to make it known how much he despises Jewish people by appearing on Alex Jones's conspiracy-riddled show, that he loves the Big H and his supporters. However, the Carlson interview is where we centered the story, and with that being said, we introduced Tim Burke. Burke is known for quickly posting viral moments on his Twitter, and his previous work was with Deadspin, specifically uncovering the Manti Te'o fake girlfriend story. He's also worked for the Daily Beast, and is a media consultant. Before we get into it, if there are any stories we missed, if there are any that you would like to submit, get at me and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. DMs are open. Look forward to all of y'all's submissions. And in addition, to keep the network going, please, if you can, go to tyt.com/join to make a donation today. Long and short, with Tim Burke, he was indicted recently, and that indictment laid out 14 counts, including conspiracy and wiretapping. Prosecutors claim Burke crossed the line by going into a streaming feed site where he acquired unbroadcast video clips of Carlson and West. This would follow Burke's home being raided by the FBI when the Bureau investigated the unaired clips of Carlson's show and how they were broadcast. From Rolling Stone, the indictment does not name Fox News explicitly, but instead refers to Network Number One, a multinational media company headquartered in New York City, New York, that produced and distributed content through multiple brands. Some of the lowlights from this Fox interview that we now know was Kanye West spouting anti-Semitic trope after anti-Semitic trope. Carlson saying that he was fearful when he was deposed for the Dominion lawsuit. He made unflattering comments to a makeup artist. He said Fox Nation, which I believe Tommy Lauren works for, their digital streaming service, he said it sucks. And he described a woman as, quote, yummy. The Daily Beast would go on to report that Fox executives were, quote, full-on freaked out when the clips saw the light of day. Fox would send a cease and desist letter to Media Matters, who also reported on the clips. Meanwhile, Angelo Caruso, seen here as chairman and president of Media Matters, in a statement he said, reporting on newsworthy, leaked material is a cornerstone of journalism. For Fox to argue otherwise is absurd and further dispels any pretense that they're a news operation. Perhaps if I tell them that the footage came from a combination of WikiLeaks and Hunter Biden's laptop, it will alleviate their concerns. Good point. When Burke's lawyer was asked by CJR.org, so what is the government alleging? His lawyer would reply, here's what we know. Fox News does the Kanye West Tucker Carlson interview. They broadcast 2 hours of it. At the same time, Fox, like many other broadcasters, are live streaming continuously to many different entities, to their affiliates and so on. And these live feeds are in high definition and encrypted, but at the same time, they are also broadcasting low definition, unencrypted feeds. They're internet addressable with no user ID and password required. All you need to know is the URL. There are third-party sites that transmit these live feeds as a service. They have password-protected websites. And in this case, somebody on the internet provided Tim with the publicly posted user ID and password for a demo account on one of these services that are used by broadcasters. So Tim logs into the site, and the site automatically downloads to his computer a list of all the live streams on the site. The important thing to note here is that those live streams didn't require a user ID and password to access them, just a URL. When asked, why do you think the government chose to take on this case if there are so many roadblocks involved in the prosecution of a journalist, Burke's lawyer gave this answer. Let's imagine Fox News broadcast the interview with Kanye, and then some hours or days later, the outtakes of the interviews are broadcast on Vice and Media Matters in a way that makes Fox News look really bad. Fox says, wait a second, this is our content. We never gave that to anybody. We never authorized anybody else to broadcast it. This was stolen. So they go to get the ear of somebody at the DOJ and say, we were hacked. Somebody broke into our computers and stole our live feeds. The problem is, even a cursory glance tells you where the data came from, and it points right directly to Tim Burke's IP address. Why? Because he wasn't being secretive about this. He was going to public URLs from his own IP address. He didn't try to conceal it. He didn't circumvent anything. But Fox says it never authorized this, and the government went and ran with that theory. The other thing they're looking at is violation of the wiretap statute, which is the acquisition of the contents of a communication without the consent of at least one party to the communication. This from freedom.press is very, very important. The indictment against Burke does not accuse him and his source of hacking into any servers or deceiving anyone to get the outtakes or any of the other content he allegedly intercepted. Nowhere does the indictment allege that either the footage or the login credentials were not publicly available. Instead, it accuses Tim Burke and the source of using the internet to search protected computers and scouring the protected computers for electronic items and info they deem desirable. The indictment threatens journalists' ability to gather information online by implying that they have a previously unrecognized duty to ask for express permission to use info they find posted on the internet. It does so by accusing Burke and his source of stealing info they found online merely by using it without securing any authorization or permission. This is terrible. Now, here's the thing. Burke is a journalist. Yet, I did not see his occupation listed in the indictment. Take with that as you will. Now, here's where I must direct all of you, each and every one of you, to please, if you can, help out Tim Burke's legal fund. Every bit counts. Please help him if you can.